And in this particular video tutorial, we'll be discussing about typecasting in PHP. This is another very important concept in PHP. So some of you might be wondering, what is typecasting? Very simple. Typecasting simply refers to converting a variable's data type to another data type. We've discussed data types before. We know strings, we know boolean, we know integers, and all the likes. So you can convert them to the other. You might have a string as a number. You can convert that string to an integer, for example, or to a float, a decimal point number. So that is exactly what typecasting is all about. How then do you cast from one data type to another? This very code you are looking at on the screen will take care of that question. So this is simply a division program. I have my first number and I have my second number. I performed the division on this line and I said echo the result to me right here. Very simple. So if I come here and refresh this, I get this result 14.2857. You know the rest. So the question now is, what if you don't need all the bunch of numbers behind the decimal point? You just want it to round up to the nearest whole number. How would you take care of that? Very simple. One easy way you can do that is to cast from a floating point number to an integer. And that is fairly simple. You have a host of options when it comes to doing that, but let me show you one easy way. I will just come here, for example, open my bracket, and then within the bracket, I would simply say int. Yeah, that will reside inside my parentheses. So this is a method of casting. Yes, all you just need to do is open close your parenthesis, and within the parenthesis simply specify the data type you want to cast to, in this case an integer. So if I save this and refresh this, you notice that all those mumbo jumbles are gone. Why? Because it has casted this variable from a float to an integer. So that is how simple it is for us to make use of type casting, converting one data type to another. In PHP, we have a host of typecasts that we can make use of at our disposal. The one we just make use of casts to integer, so you can either make use of the first one or the second one. I prefer the first because it is shorter. They do exactly the same thing. The second one casts to decimal point. This third one casts to a string. This one casts to a boolean type. This to an array. And then finally, this casts to an object. So that is that about typecasting in PHP. In the very next video tutorial, we want to talk about dynamic linking in PHP. I'll see you there.